নমস্কার, নিউজ প্রাইমে আপনাদের স্বাগত। আমি সঞ্জয় রয়েছি আপনাদের সাথে। এই মুহূর্তে আমরা রয়েছি কলকাতার রাজভবন। কলকাতার রাজভবনে থাকার উদ্দেশ্য হচ্ছে পশ্চিমবঙ্গের রাজ্যপাল ডক্টর সিভি আনন্দ বোসের কার্যকালের 1 বছর পূর্তি। হ্যাঁ, বর্ষপূর্তি হলো রাজ্যপাল ডক্টর সিভি আনন্দ বোসের। সেই উপলক্ষে তিনি সাংবাদিকদের মুখোমুখি হয়েছেন। চলুন সাংবাদিকদের মুখোমুখি হয়ে রাজ্যপাল ডক্টর সিভি আনন্দ বোস তার 1 বছর যে কার্যকালের মেয়াদ পূর্ণ হলো সেই পরিপ্রেক্ষিতে কি বলেন সেটা আমরা শুনে নেব।
Welcome, all of you. I remember with great gratitude the support and the critical corrections which were given to me benignly by all my friends in the press, the media. In fact, I could avoid many pitfalls because of the timely warning signals given by the media. I thank you very much for that. I do believe, as Joseph Pulitzer said, our republic and its press will rise or fall together. I respect the press, I am indebted to them, and I humbly request you to kindly continue your help and support and critical corrections in future also. We are meeting here because there is a context for that. It was about 1 year back that I took over as the governor of this great land, West Bengal. I thank the Honorable President, Srimati Draupadi Murmu ji, Honorable Prime Minister, Sri Narendra Modi ji, and all my senior colleagues and distinguished leaders who gave me this assignment. I have only sweetness and light to share with you from the limited experience which I had in Bengal. I love Bengal, I love the people of Bengal, and I am delighted that I have received a lot of affection and regards from the people of Bengal. This is an occasion when I consider it as my Banga Samarpan. I am dedicating my humble self to Bengal completely. This is going to be my land. This is going to be my karma bhumi, and I take delight in that. I know, as governor, great responsibility is thrust on me, on my humble shoulders. I have tried my level best to do whatever I could to justify my role as governor and in the discharge of what I am expected to discharge. There are two aspects to my perception of the role of a governor, which is enshrined or encapsulated in the brief oath which the governor takes. The first part is an affirmation to defend the Constitution of India, and the second is to work for the welfare of the people of the state. For me, both are important. The Constitution is a repository of all the democratic rights and the sovereignty of the people. It is we the people who gave the Constitution to ourselves. Therefore, the right of every ruler, whether it is minister, chief minister, officers or governor, stems from the mandate which is given by the people, we the people, to be dispensers of India's destiny, Bharat Bhagya Vidhata. So humbly salute the Constitution of India. Second part is very important for me, which is close to my heart, that is the people. The second part of the oath is that the governor will work for the welfare or the well-being of the people of the state. That for me is an emotion, it's a sensation felt in the blood and felt along the heart. I have tried to maintain the connect with the people, and I am so glad that the people have reciprocated with me. That is why I bow my head and dedicate myself to the people of Bengal. I share those sentiments expressed by Gurudev. Banglar Mati, Banglar Jol, Banglar Bayu, Banglar Fall, Puno Hok, Puno Hok, Puno Hok, He Bhagwan. That has inspired me. I would like to continue, whereas Gurudev said, with the poorest, the lowliest and the lost. That is going to be my field. You have described me at times benignly, and I thank you for that, as a ground zero governor. That is where I belong to. That is where I want to be. I want to be with the people. People are my greatest strength. They are the energy which keeps me going. So, the second level of my administration or my dispensation as a governor will be to be more intimately connected with the problems of the people, to be in the field. I would like to be a field level governor. Of course, the governor has some definite roles to play. First, he should be a bridge between the center and the state. We have accepted the norms of federalism. In federalism, the state and the center have to go hand in hand. In democracy, when there can be some minor fissures in the process, it is up to the governor to intervene, building the bridge, the rainbow bridge, if I may say, between the center and the state. That is a role which I have been trying to do to the best of my ability in my own humble way. I will certainly continue that. The second role, of course, is different. The governor, at times, has to be a speed governor also. You know, in automobiles, there is no speed limit. It can go maybe 100 or 200 kilometers per hour. But in the larger interests of people, we put certain restrictions, which is decided or controlled by an inbuilt mechanism which is called speed governor. The governor also may have to act as a speed governor at times. This is the beauty of democracy. So you esteemed constitutional colleagues, in democracy, as far as the state is concerned, are one, the governor, two, the chief minister. You know, these are two distinctly different roles. As far as I am concerned, I am not for controversy to the extent possible. I do not feel conflicts can yield any results. What is required is conciliation, consensus. That has been the approach which I have been assiduously trying to maintain. Of course, we should realize the dialectics of democracy. The elected chief minister, the nominated governor, their perceptions need not be the same. It cannot be also. That is where the problem of balancing comes in. I am always for the middle path, the golden mean. Governor and of course the Raj Bhavan should be a no conflict zone. It should be apolitical. At the same time, it should be proactive. The first duty of a governor is to the people. His second duty is to the people. His third duty is to the people. When these basic facts are understood, I think the Raj Bhavan can steer clear of conflicts. I will come back to what I started speaking on now. The role perception between the chief minister and the governor. Not only in this state, everywhere. The elected chief minister will have a perspective which may be different from that of the nominated governor. where the twain shall meet. It is said, east is east and west is west, and never the twain shall meet. No, the twain shall meet. The twain shall meet. Now, I see, to be candid at this occasion, when I am almost going to complete 1 year in office, the relation between the Chief Minister and the Governor has 3 levels. One is as individuals. At that level, there is a lot of bond-forming, mutual understanding and mutual respect on a personal level. But as Chief Minister and Governor, perceptions may differ. See, the Chief Minister is bound, or his or her priority will be to give the people what they want. They have to do that. They are trying to do that everywhere, not here alone. But the Governor has to ensure that in the process, constitutional proprieties are upheld, legal proprieties are observed. There are 3 facets when we analyze an issue as governance. From the point of view of Governor, the first question, is it in tune with the Constitution of India? Number 2, does this act of government uphold the rule of law? Number 3, is the governmental action based on due process of law? These analyses will always be done. And as a former civil servant, it's my training and temperament that I analyze an issue in all its perspectives to the extent possible. The pros and cons have to be weighed. Oftentimes I have seen every issue has 2 sides. When you listen to both the sides, you will understand there is a third side which is correct. This process may appear to be conflict. Actually, it is not conflict. See, this is, I would call it, dynamics of governance. The dynamics of governance is there. There are checks and balances. The Governor is also a point, a symbol of the checks and balances which are essential in a functional democracy. That is a second level. The third level, the Chief Minister, here or anywhere, is a politician. Yes, politics has a grammar which is different from that of governance. When we say good governance, India is also a signatory to the UN's principles of good governance. India is trying to follow that. Transparency, inclusiveness, there are all facets which are important in good governance. So, when an issue is tackled at the political level, it may not take into account all facts of good governance, inclusiveness. It's for the Governor to see it objectively and intervene with appropriate corrections at their appropriate time. These 3 facets of the relationship between the Governor and the Chief Minister. The personal relationship is one. Professional relationship, as Governor and Chief Minister, have to follow certain norms. There may be some difference of opinion. What I can candidly tell you, what I have accepted here, and my esteemed constitutional colleague has also agreed, is that we agree to disagree. In certain matters, we agree to disagree. Even when we disagree, there can be the highest norms of civilized conduct, public utterances. I would like to point out to you, because you have been watching these developments very closely, and I have been immensely benefited by the input which we give, formally and informally. I would like to say that if there is respect for each other's point of view, even opposites can coexist together. That is the style which we have adopted here. We agree to disagree. When we disagree, we do not resort to acrimony. In all humility, I can tell you, in the last 1 year, I have never uttered a word or written a word against my constitutional colleague. But on issues, we have differed. Certain actions of government have been questioned. Certain actions of government have been modified. Certain actions have been reversed. All this process will take place because it is for the good of the people, good of society. I think that kind of a balancing is always there. And I am thankful to the people of Bengal. I am thankful to the media for supporting this seamless management of differences. Now, I have only rosy memories about my interactions with the people. I could be with them. When there is violence, I went to them. I spent time with them. I could understand their feelings and emotions, how they view things. I found that a murder is not just a murder, it's not a statistics. You go to the daughter who has lost her father. Go to the wife who has lost her husband. Go to the children who are rendered orphan because their father has been shot dead. It's not an objective fact, it's a subjective feeling. The loss, we have to go see the victims, share their sentiments. You have to experience sorrow. Sorrow cannot be explained. That is why I went to the field. I will keep on going that. Whenever there is an accident which involves in casualties, I try to go to the victims or the survivors of the victims. My field is there. I am with the people. In the second year of my career, I will be more with the people. And I don't have to tell you, we started the mobile Raj Bhavan during elections. At 6 a.m., Raj Bhavan will be on the road. Anybody could stop us, express our grievances. We would try to take quick decisions as far as possible. Then the peace room, the anti-corruption cell, the tribal affairs cell. So many cells have been created and the cells are active, which you will know. This will continue. Now I understand that the completion of 1 year in office is going to be observed by various sections of society. There will be no celebration here, but observance will be there. I think the details will be handed over to you. The first day it is here. I invite all of you to be here, encourage us, correct us. That day, we thought we will have as a focus attention anti-drug campaign, particularly among the new generation. There is going to be a run for drug-free Bengal. Cyclists will be there. There will be also specially able people will join that. Youth will be there. Then there will be an oath which they take against drug abuse. There will also be a children's painting competition on this issue. And then we have a few programs meant for the people. Certain things are 365 because they mark the number of days in the year that is completed. 365 poor people will be given in marriage in community marriage. Raj Bhavan will organize the community marriage. We will certainly give them all support, financial and otherwise, so that they can start a life fairly well. There are other programs also which will 365 is there. Then there is meal with the governor. From 23rd onwards, that is the first day of the completion of 1 year. Meal with the governor. Anyone can come and have a meal in the assigned place in the Raj Bhavan. The meals will be provided by Raj Bhavan to them. Place has been identified, and on 23rd we will symbolically start it. There are awards which are given. As you already know, the governor's century group, which will identify youngsters with talent in cricket. They will be encouraged to the hilt. Initially they will be given an award of 10,000 each, citation and plaque. Then whatever is required to handhold them, to help them to rise up the ladders in the cricket field. Similarly, we are also organizing a lot of scholarship schemes for the poor children and special schemes to help the scheduled castes and tribes. I do not want to detail it here. We have identified about 40 areas in which Raj Bhavan, with the cooperation of the public sector undertakings and others, will extend a helping hand to people in distress, handhold them, encourage youngsters, encouraging women entrepreneurs, encouraging sports, encouraging youth, and also provide timely assistance to the cancer patients, those who need dialysis. In fact, the list is long. We have combined it and called it Mission Compassion. This will be launched on the first day in the Raj Bhavan. We will also be recognizing some of the war veterans. You know, it is from Kolaikonda base. That's something which is even now treated as a military history. That is, India's Nats downed the saber jets in quick succession in less than 2.5 minutes. That is there, taught in all the military schools. We are going to honor the veterans. There are also others who will be honored that day. That is going to be the humble program which is going to be here on the first day. And two things I want to bring to your notice. I am one who considers the great cultural contributions of Bengal to the whole world. To me, as a humble student of literature, Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore symbolizes the best, the quintessence of sublimity in culture. The Nobel laureate W.B. Yeats, he acknowledges his indebtedness to Gurudev and Gitanjali. He regards Gurudev as his master and teacher. The Nobel laureate, poet W.B. Yeats. I am shocked and saddened that knowingly or unknowingly attempts are being made to marginalize Gurudev's memory. It can never happen. It should never happen. Gurudev represents the best that is there in our ethos and culture. As a humble step to honor Gurudev, the north gate of this Raj Bhavan will be renamed Gurudev Rabindranath Tagore Gate. Secondly, it pains me, as it pains millions of humble people like me, that Netaji's memory is sought to be obliterated. I remember having read the sad and painful incident when there was a demand in the Constituent Assembly that a portrait of Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose should be displayed there. Those who were in power, they said no. Netaji's portrait cannot be installed there. And then, I am not a historian, but I am a student of history. Historians tell me the shocking tale. You know, when Mountbatten mooted the idea, if India is to be given independence, INA soldiers should not be inducted in the Indian Army. The strongest leader of India at that time, he agreed to that. Nipping in the bud. The memory of a great leader who is an idol in the minds of millions has got to be obliterated. That cannot happen. Netaji's memory should live forever. As they say, Caesar the dead is mightier than Caesar the alive. Netaji lives forever in the minds of millions. That, in my own humble way, I have taken up an incident from the life of the great Netaji. You know, with effortless ease, he got in the ICS. The ICS was meant to recruit the best and the brightest in the kingdom. Netaji was among the best and the brightest. He got selected in the ICS. As a young man, he came here to call on the then occupant of the Raj Bhavan. He was allowed to meet him because an ICS officer, even today, an IAS officer is supposed to go and call on his seniors. Netaji was allowed, but he was told, Netaji had a folded umbrella with him. That was the style statement of the Bengali youth at that time. They said, you can go, but you cannot carry this umbrella with you. Netaji's pride and self-respect rose up. He said, this folded umbrella represents the symbol of the self-respect and self-confidence, self-esteem of a Bengali youth. If my umbrella cannot come with me, I do not want to come inside. These portals, which are denied to Netaji Bose, will be renamed Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Portal. The so-called Grand Portal on 23rd will be renamed Netaji Subhash Chandra Bose Portal. I do not want to take more of your time. I consider this occasion for my supplication to Bengal, Banga Samarpan. That is going to be the theme, and we will launch the Mission Compassion. Next year, as Milton says, tomorrow to fresh fruits and pastures anew. I seek your support. You have groomed me up. Please guide me, advise me, criticize me, correct me, because it's all for Bengal, for the people of Bengal. Thank you. Hello.
Sir, congratulations on the completion of first year of yours here at Raj Bhavan. This is Safi from Deccan Herald. Sir, this side. This side.
Pardon?
He's that side.
Yeah. This is Safi from Deccan Herald. Congratulations on your first year's completion. Sir, today is Bengal's biggest event, Global Summit. Are you attending it today? And in case you are not, if you may say why you are not attending. Second question, sir, is across the country, Raj Bhavans and the government, especially run by the opposition, are at confrontation. How do you see this?
You have asked me two questions. I am attending the Global Summit from here. Whatever good happens anywhere in Bengal, I will always be there mentally to support it. The second question is beyond my capacity to answer. That is about my illustrious counterparts in other states. I cannot comment on that. I am a baby governor having completed only 1 year. I leave it you to answer that question.
Sir.
रविशंकर फ्रॉम TV9 भारतवर्ष। सर मेरा सवाल यह है, सुप्रीम कोर्ट लगातार फटकार लगा रहा है गवर्नर को अलग अलग राज्यों के विधानसभा के बिल पास ना करने के लिए। तो जो बिल विधानसभा में पास करके आ रहा है वो गवर्नर रोक दे रहा है। केरला में ऐसा हो रहा है, तमिलनाडु में ऐसा हो रहा है। तो इसके बारे में क्या कहना है कि जो बिल पास होके आ रहा है विधानसभा से, गवर्नर उसको रोक दे रहे हैं बार बार?
आपके सवाल में उसका जवाब है, वहां होता है, यहाँ बंगाल में ऐसे नहीं होता।
Sir, this is Sanjay Saha, News Pen. First of all, heartiest congratulations for completion of 1 year.
Thank you.
Sir, you have proved yourself as a ground zero governor. But sir, there are various type of conflict between state government and governor house. How can it possible to serve people with this conflict continuing?
Conflicts of interest are bound to take place in any evolving society. The balance which comes out of that, that is what is more important. So we had conflicts between the whites and the blacks in America. We had conflicts between capitalism and socialism in the international economy. We had conflicts between two factions during the days of the Cold War. But society has not crumbled because there is a balance which emerges out of this. It is the quality of the balance which is important. The Bengal has the milieu, has a greatness, has a strength to create that balance which emerges from a conflict. Therefore, I do not think there is any irreparable conflict between governor and the government.
सर गुड मॉर्निंग। इधर सर, हेलो 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 सर, नमस्ते।
नमस्ते।
मेरा नाम है दीपांकर मट्टू, मैं बांग्ला से हूँ। सर आपका 1 साल हो गया, लेकिन आप आने से पहले से जब जगदीप धनखड़ जी जब गवर्नर थे, तब से आज तक बहुत सारे पास हुआ बिल, असेंबली का बिल राजभवन में पड़ा हुआ है। और आप बोले कि आप कॉन्स्टिट्यूशनल जो कलीग है, सीएम के बारे में आप कुछ नहीं बोलेंगे, लेकिन सीएम मैम ने बोले है कि आप जबरदस्ती आप बिल अटक कर रखे हैं, इधर रोक के रखे हैं।
That itself corroborates my statement that we agree to disagree. I have made it very clear and circulated it among the media. The fate of each bill that is sent is Rajbhavan. There is no bill which is pending here. Certain bills have been sent to government asking certain essential clarifications. Certain bills have been sent to the President of India, not now, long time back. I think one bill has been withheld, one has been assented with some modifications. That's a long story, old story. No bill will be kept deliberately pending here. But as I told you, there is something called writing speaking orders. When we take a decision on a file, we have a responsibility to the people that we have considered all aspects of the issue, analyzed it from various angles. Then you take a decision. That is called a speaking order. By training and temperament, I would like to write speaking orders. So certain clarifications in the process are essential. It should come from government, it should come from other sources. Some may require legal consultation. That's all part of the professional duty of a governor. There is no deliberate attempt at withholding any bill. That's my present position. Since the matter itself is subject, it's not about Bengal, but about various other states, I wait for the Honorable Supreme Court's decisions in the matter.
So if I may ask a second question, the first year of yours has gone with a lot of controversy. You have visited the field, met people directly. The year ahead is also the year when the Lok Sabha elections are to take place. What are the points, what are your priorities in the next year ahead? Thank you.
I have two priorities which I made clear on occasions. The two major problems of the state are number one, violence. Number two, corruption. Not necessarily in that order. I don't say that violence is created by the present government in power, nor is corruption created by the present government in power. But when there is violence, first of all, we should accept the reality that there is violence. If there is violence, who should take action against it? It's not the serving government alone. Government has a role to play. Society has a role to play. Political parties have a role to play. Intellectuals have a role to play. The silent majority has a role to play. But government's duty is to bring together all these stakeholders and see that there is action, not an alibi for inaction. Whether it is this government or any government. See, violence did not come in the political scenario overnight. It has been there in varying degrees in various parts of the country. And we have the instance where this has been put down to a very large extent in various parts of the country. I have seen with my own eyes. I have verified it in the field. Yes, there is violence. We have to take action against that. Number two, corruption. There is corruption. The anti-corruption cell in this Rajbhavan is receiving so many petitions. We forward it with recommendations to the competent authorities. It can be the state government, it can be the income tax, it can be the central government, it can be the public sector undertakings. See, whoever is to take action has to take. Corruption has to be contained. There is no scope for corruption. There should be zero tolerance of corruption. But corruption is increasing. The base of corruption is increasing. That's a fact. And what do? There is an easy way to end corruption. Don't give bribes. Don't take bribes. That's not easy, you know. We have to work for that. See, whether we like it or not, fact is a fact. The two priorities of my humble self as a governor will be to do everything possible to see that we contain and eradicate these two menaces, violence and corruption. That is not going to be an election-centric objective. It's going to be an objective throughout the time when I'll be here. We should fight against a common enemy. Violence and corruption are common enemies. We should stand together. My priority will be to act as a catalyst, using all the constitutional and legal might which the governor has under the Constitution of India. That will continue as a mission.
Governor sir, this is Procheta from Anand Bose Online. I have one question for you. That is, yesterday in Supreme Court, we saw that Supreme Court inquired of the Chancellor that why Chancellor is not in discussion with the state government regarding the Vice Chancellor recruitment.
See, the Supreme Court itself ordered a few months back that Vice Chancellors should be selected only through a search cum selection committee. All others who continue as Vice Chancellors have to resign. When I took over, I called the Vice Chancellors and the Minister also. We told the Vice Chancellors, I said my humble understanding is that as per the judgment of the Supreme Court, you Vice Chancellors have lost your right to continue in your positions. That's my understanding. If you have any other legal opinion, please tell me that. In that case, I have only two options before me. One, you have the option of resigning if you feel you are bound to resign as per the Supreme Court judgment. Otherwise, I have the option of terminating you, observing the due process of law. You decide. They asked for some time. I allowed them to meet and discuss in confidence. Then they came and told me, in the presence of the minister, "Sir, we are resigning." This is what happened in the first few days of my taking over as governor. Nobody was forcibly retrenched. They themselves quit because they knew that is the Supreme Court judgment. Then I gave them an option. See, as per the existing legislation, the acts and rules, whenever there is a vacuum in the post of the Vice Chancellor, there is a method of filling it. You can authorize anyone to discharge the duties and functions of a Vice Chancellor. That is what in normal parlance is called interim Vice Chancellor. There is no term as interim Vice Chancellor, but it's an officiating arrangement which is there everywhere. That has to be done in consultation with the Minister of Education. That is a rule. That day itself, being a new governor, I did not know anybody here at that time. So I thought, let the Vice Chancellor resigned. Let them continue as interim Vice Chancellors. They continued. But then, I also started having a grip on the administration. Then I knew some of them are not doing well. Some of them have shown gross dereliction of duties. And some of them I adjudged are not worthy enough to continue as Vice Chancellor because certain allegations which I made my own confidential inquiries. Second lot of Vice Chancellors, government gave me a list, let the same Vice Chancellors continue. That was not acceptable to me, not as an individual. I found that some of them were not the ideal choices or the worthy choices for those posts. Therefore, I, in my best of judgment, accepted a few names suggested by the government and appointed others following certain norms of eligibility and suitability. Eligibility and suitability are different. Certain persons may be eligible as per their qualification is concerned, but whether they are suitable, that's a different yardstick. Their integrity, their approach to things, their attitude as students, all these are to be taken into account. That is why some names suggested by the minister could not be accommodated. Now, legally, consultation should be there. When government sent the names and I considered it, consultation is over. Consultation does not mean concurrence. That is the stand which I took. That is what was challenged in the High Court. The Calcutta High Court gave an order stating very clearly that the Chancellor's action is right. So that is where we stand. Now in the Supreme Court, what the Supreme Court said is, yes, you can select Vice Chancellors only through a search cum selection committee. The state government had passed a legislation defining the composition of the committee. That is now before the Supreme Court. The Supreme Court said, let the three stakeholders, the Chancellor, the UGC and the state government, you select only one name. You give us a panel. From that panel, the Supreme Court said, we will select one nominee each of the three stakeholders. Once the process is over, Once the Supreme Court gives the judgment, we will certainly select the vice chancellors based on the norms. That is the only position which I understand is the factual position.
Sir, Deepankar from NKTV Bangla. Sir, hello, this side. Sir, 1 second. TMC leaders are frequently to say that Raj Bhavan has become the parallel power center of the state and has become the party office of BJP. Your comment, sir.
No comments.
Okay.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
কলকাতার রাজভবন থেকে ভিডিও জার্নালিস্ট নিরার সাথে নিউজ প্রাইমের জন্য সঞ্জয় শাহ।